so anyway, you know, my mother brought us up with a love of family, a love of cooking, and that nurturing aspect of hospitality. So anyway, I said, oh, this sounds like it's good. I didn't have any of the products and can always use, everybody's got a kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a product common to everyday living. That's what makes us different. You guys realize that, don't you? It's not a luxury product. When we buy something, it's like, kind of like the guys, when you buy a tool, it's the right tool for the right job. When we have men at our shows, I love when the men come because they spend twice as much as the women.
That's right.
You know why? Because they look at us and go, what do you mean you don't have a chopper? What do you mean you don't have a really great knife? How are you doing that, your job, without that, you know, in the kitchen? And so anyway, I love when the guys are there. But anyway, I looked into the company and I said, I didn't even see a show. Here's another thing that you need to know. I didn't see a show before I started. Don't feel like you have to get people to a show. They know what direct sales concept is. You show them the product. Two things that this gal did that was very smart. She left a business card with the lady from a year and a half before that had the show. Now Susie called the host and she asked her to look for the person's number. And so she did. She took her 2 weeks. I'm sure she wasn't looking the whole time, but took her 2 weeks to get back to us. So I called Pampered Chef. There was no catalog. There was no 800 number. I have no idea. You know, nobody knew anything about him. So anyway, but the gal came over within 24 hours of me calling. Two things. Yeah, hold up there. Two things.
She's
Business
the
card,
accountant.
business card, and then 24 to 48 hours. Super important. Because somebody gets excited about a thought and about a process, and the naysayers in your life will try and talk you right out of it. How many of you, when you started, how many people, did someone try to talk you out of this? Absolutely. It happens with all of us because maybe at some point in someone's life, they did direct sales or multi-level marketing, and it didn't work for them, so how could it work for you? It's all a scam, right? It's not a scam. I am living proof of it not being a scam, and that this kind of success can happen to anyone if you are consistent and you put your effort forward, okay? In my family, we agreed that 2 nights would work for our family, okay? 2 nights a week, or 2 times a week. Have you thought about what really could work for you and your family? Have you really thought about it? Have you made a plan? If you would have invested $100,000 into this business instead of 165 or whatever it was with tax, would you treat this differently? Anybody? Would you treat it differently? Would you go to work? Okay. Do you have to get your investment back? Wouldn't you? You might have a bank to pay,
Exactly.
or your house is on the line. Or let me ask you this. If your house was on the line, if you were going to lose your house and be homeless, you think you'd find the effort to get on the phone and call people? I know you would, because you care that much. Sometimes the need needs to be greater for people to go crazy with this business. Well, I started working, by my 3rd show I had 16 bookings from 3 shows.
Ooh, wait.
Not because I asked one person, because I swore I'd never do that. It's because we had fun and I just kept cooking. And I just kept cooking because I figured the more I cook, the more they buy. So anyway, it was my fault that we cooked so much, but the pendulum has swung back. We're in a really good place. We make 1 to 2 things. It's fast, it's easy, but you have to give them enough to make it worthwhile to be away from their family. You know, you have to give them enough, and that's one of the things in the survey. People wanted to learn new things. Being a foodie is really cool. Being recruited is very awesome to the younger people, all right? Sometimes we hear that word recruit and we cringe. I like the word sponsor better, you know, but you know what? Young people all want to be recruited by the big companies. They want that. So don't be afraid of the word recruit. We are recruiting for our company. Let's see if this fits you and you fit us, okay? It's really, really great to know that about young people today. And today, most young people, a lot of them have degrees, or they went to college and they were really busy after school with sports and activities and things like that, so they, or their moms and dads worked, so they weren't there to learn to cook. So they don't know how to cook, and their houses, I don't know about you, but it took me 20 years to get a house like people start out in today. So they have to both work, and they have, and the one thing, they have beautiful things, but they don't know how to cook. They don't know how to take care of the very family that God has given them. And it's a life skill, all right? My boys know how to cook as much as my daughter does. I have 3 children, 35, 30, and 23. And my daughter has 3 boys. My oldest grandson is 14, freshman in high school. I really was 12. Okay. No, and then my son is in the Navy. He'll be 30 next week, and he has a little 2.5-year-old girl and another one on the way. I can't believe I'm going to have 5 grandchildren.
Right.
5 is all of a sudden, it's hitting me. It's like, really? 5? Can I have 5? Of course, I was 42 when I had the first one. I was 21 when I had my first baby. She was 21 when she had her first baby. I would bring Nathan to the McDonald's with the jumpy ball, and he had the same color hair as me, and everybody go, oh, your son is so cute. I go, I'm the Nana. I go, no. I go, yeah. They probably thought, uh-oh, your daughter had a baby when she was 12. But no, it's a privilege to have grandchildren, and you'll see football. They're all my boys are in football, and so it's a lot of fun. And my little granddaughter is just, the apple of her Nana's eye. So anyway, I built a business 2 by 2, 2 shows a week, and I always tried to get 2 bookings at every show, okay? And I put together this little slide presentation to multiply your show schedule and get the paycheck you deserve. Why does it say double click to edit? Okay, I hope this is the right one. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Go to the next slide.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Wait, that's why it says that. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Wait, hold on.
We want slideshow.
Even you can
Come on, it just worked. Okay. All right, hold on.
There we go. Okay. All right. Month 1. I want you, because it's October.
Can everybody see this? Okay, because we have some, the lights
All
are.
right, let me step in here. Can you see this? Because it's October, I'm starting with 3, because you know what? You need, pardon me?
It is September right now.
I know, but the next month that you're going to be booking is October. It's primo, yes, it's the primo time for us to do business.
We're also encouraging.
40% of our business comes in the last 3 months of the year. We have business all year round, but when people are cooking, they're buying for Christmas gifts, they're going crazy at the holidays, so tons of people are buying our stuff, aren't they? Okay, so if you purpose to get 3 shows on your calendar for October, and you get 2 bookings from each of those shows, this is what your November's gonna look like. Next slide, please. Okay, and and by the way, don't be afraid to have that after the Black Friday. A show on Black Friday, have something at 8 o'clock at night for everybody after they're shopping to come over for dessert, things like that. Or have a Black Friday sale first thing in the morning or a Saturday morning. Okay, you've done all the shopping on Friday, come buy things that people really want on Saturday. Did you notice I said really want? Anyway, so now from month 2, if you get 2 shows from each of those, guess what? Now you've got 12 bookings. It's really, really important. I know Michael and Debbie and Rahama, I know everybody teaches to get the date on your calendar at the show and hand the host packet. It's like a handshake, and it's like a commitment. It's a seal of commitment. And you save $6 in postage.
Right.
I used to be an accountant. I really, really am big on saving money. I don't care how much money I make. I don't like spending money. I don't like to waste it. It's a waste of money to send a host packet to someone you've met at a show, because there's only about $2.50 worth of stuff in there. Okay, so just hand it to them. If they end up canceling, it costs you half of what it would cost to mail it to. Okay, so that's your cost, your next cost tip. Month 3 is December. That's why I've got a push week in there. And you need to tell, you see how I have 4 shows in there? But you need to tell your family, okay, for 1 week, I'm gonna do this every other day for 1 week, because I'm gonna be able to take 3 whole weeks off.
Yeah.
We like December.
Yeah, right?
That's right.
That's what we do.
That's what we do, and that's what, don't think, oh, there's only 15 days I can work in December. Say, I'm gonna have a push December so I can enjoy my family the next 3 weeks. All right, it's gonna be all about them. So you see why I've got, there's 6 shows there, all right? Now, from those 6 shows, remember, we had 12 bookings, so now January is already gonna have 6 in there. But before we do that, let's just do the math. 15 shows from October through December, $550 average sale per night. You're gonna have $13,750 in sales and $3,437 in commission. Now, what do you think for working 15 nights? What's it gonna feel like when those Christmas bills come in, or maybe a college bill, or anything like that? And by the way, this is on Patty's, this is gonna be on Patty's website. They updated it for the fall, so you guys can go to this at any time, show your significant other, or maybe you need to be held accountable by someone. Not everybody, I don't have a significant other anymore, so, you know, maybe you don't either. So have a best friend, a sister, somebody that you can be held accountable to, okay? So 304, let's say $3,500 in commission, 15 shows times 2 is 30 shows. You've done 15 of them, now you're gonna have 15 shows go into the new year. Because don't forget to turn the page. So many times we're so focused on this month that we forget to turn the page and we have nothing the next month. So everything, you're back-loading every single month instead of front-loading your month and being able to fill more people. Okay, so now 9, if there's an average of 9 guests at every show, that's 135 guests. 15 shows times 3 recruit packets. Let me talk about that for a minute. I don't ask everyone to have a show, and I don't ask everyone to do the business. I look for the most excited people in the room, the one that the people that everybody's buzzing around. I look for the people that absolutely love our products or love to cook, and then I also look try to hear who needs money. The person who's got 3 kids in travel ball, or oh my gosh, the dance bill came in $5,000 for the next year. Or where am I gonna come up with this money? Do you have 1 night a week that you can give me? Just one, are you willing to give up 1 bad night of TV to make $400 to $600 a month? You like that?
Yeah.
1 bad night of TV, all right? So here we are. If you hand out 3 recruit packets at every single show, that's 45 leads. If 1 out of 10 sign up, it's 4 to 5 recruits. There's a little bit more on that screen. There we go, keep going up. $3,300 personal sales plus 5 recruits equals directorship. Because your recruits, your 5 recruits are gonna be adding to your $3,300 in sales for the month from those 6 shows, okay? And you're gonna be a director when you have 5,000 in sales with 5 active people. Yes?
When you say recruit packet, what do you have in that packet?
You know what, I just put, they're gonna get a catalog tonight from me anyway. I put a come join us and a hand scraper in there and my business card. Okay. That's it. And then I make an appointment, because I'm gonna say this brochure is meant to create questions. I want you to go home and have a Nancy pad. And I want you to start writing down all these questions for me. And when in the next 24 to 48 hours can I call you? Or can I buy you a cup of coffee or Coke? All right? You want to get with them as soon as possible. Now, some people may have been thinking about it for a long time and they're ready to go that night. Go ahead and sign them up. You guys, people spend $150 at the Target or the Walmart without even thinking about it, and they don't know where the money is or what they bought a week later. It's on toilet paper and paper towels and dish soap, okay? So it's not a $1,000 investment, it's $159. Don't make it more than it is. They're gonna get $580 worth of merchandise and tools to do their first 6 shows. That's what their commitment is. sweetie. Okay, so here's my next chart. Remember I was an accountant? Okay. So here's my next chart, and it's commission comparison. If you do one show with a $500 party average, and we figured out that there's about 8 people at a $500 show. I actually did the math, and then for Illinois, and then actually the company quantified all of my numbers at a meeting one time. Okay, so, excuse me. Anyway, an average of 9 orders with $64 per average, you're gonna make $100 at $500 in sales, okay? The 20% start, it's a brand new person. It's, with just 2.5 orders more, you're gonna make another $20, is it $20?
Mhm.
Another $20. And if you have 3 more orders than the
Should we
8.
make it darker in here?
No, it's okay, Patty. Like I said, this is all on the website. $140. So you can have 3 more people at the show, and you can make $40 more or 40% more. Why wouldn't you want to do that? You're doing the same show. You're away from your family the same amount of time. You're putting in 3 more orders. And your host is going to be happier, isn't she?
Right.
Being
Or
that I
isn't he?
can't see
Pardon me?
this- Being that I can't see this, so that means that other people can't see, the bottom line is, if you have a 700, what's
The bottom line, it's 5, 6, and 7, and 1,
So
2,
with a
3,
$700 party average, what's that person making
$140
a night?
per night.
And at the end of the month, how much do
At
they
the end of the month, if they do 2 shows, it's $322. If they do 8 shows, it's $1,400.
1,400.
322 if they do one show.
Two shows in a month,
2 shows in a month, not
in a
two.
month. Then 3 shows, 4 shows, 6 shows, 8
Okay.
shows. So if they're working twice a week, they can make $1,000 to $1,400. Okay, this is a brand new person before they're 15%, or they're 15,000, and you get a 2% raise when you get your 15,000. And then I put in the 100 Pampered Chef dollars. This is the little chart I use with every single new consultant or new lead I have when I'm talking to them about money and how much money you can make. These are real numbers. They're absolutely proven by Pampered Chef. So I feel very comfortable talking about these numbers with everybody, okay? So, so I let them know that if they want to work 1 night a week, they're going to make between $460 and $672, and earn about 200 Pampered Chef dollars. And if they want to work 2 times a week, which any part-time job in the world is going to ask you to work 2 shifts in a week, 2 4-hour shifts. All right. So don't be afraid to encourage people to work twice a week. They're going to make money. And you know what all of a sudden happens? When you've got a lot of bookings on your calendar, you never think about bookings again. It's true. How many of you experience that? There's just 2 of us. Okay. No, seriously. When you don't, because once you get going, and you have the 2, and I used to give my host a prize if she got 2 shows, 2 bookings, okay, at the second booking. You never give it out beforehand, okay, never ever. Never give it, because otherwise all of a sudden she got 42 bookings from 12 people at the show, you know what I mean? So you always give it at the second show and say, you know, Rahama, thank you so much for introducing me to Sally and to Susie. And tonight I told you that if both these shows help, I'm going to give you something special. Boom. Most of us have what we call stranded goods on our shelves. Anybody got any stranded goods around? Okay. If you don't, go talk to your fellow consultants who have a lot of stuff on their shelves, and ask them if. Pardon me?
The outlet shop right now has got a ton of stuff.
Oh my gosh! And I have
Just
bought at the
updated.
outlet. Just saying. Yeah, absolutely.
updated again.
So what this does is it shows people that we're a real job and you can make real money.
Can we get the website to the news that are here tonight? That's
Yes, it's pcteamtraining.com, and the password is success. And are we changing it November 1?
Yeah, November 1, we're gonna
Change it?
We're not changing until after all the travels and stuff, either
Right.
December or January. I think
Oh,
we're just
okay,
gonna
so
wait till
January.
yeah.
January 1, look for your in your newsletters for the new password. But right now it's success, okay? So, but this little chart, it's all in there, this whole program is, okay, go to the next slide. What is your dream for 2016? Do you have one? Do you believe in yourself? If you were talking to your children about going for something at school, or going for the track team, or going for, the science team, or whatever it would be, what kind of enthusiasm would you use, and how would you believe in them? Who believes in you? Your mom. Good. And you know what? Pardon me? Your kids. You know what? When you show them how to succeed,
That's it.
guess what happens? They succeed too.
That's right.
They follow in your footsteps. If you make just excuses, if you want to reach your goal, you must shrink the size of your butt. Okay?
I like it.
I like that.
It is so true. If you want to reach your goals, you must shrink the size of your butt. Stop making excuses. All right? Anybody can come up and take pictures of this later. I love that. I had to write the name. Here's my little sheet. So anyway, but your kids are watching, your spouse is watching. So many times as women especially, we talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and then we don't do anything. And guess what? Guys aren't like that, right guys? The guys in the room, when you guys, you're logical and you think through things. And, I went to a counselor one time and she said, men's brains are like waffles, Belgian waffles. There's a spot for everything. Okay? Women's brains are like spaghetti. and we got this stuff going all over the place, and we drive men nuts.
That don't make me feel good.
Well, it's true, guys, right? All right? Yeah, you can say it. It's all right. We won't hurt you. No, but it's true. Stop talking about it and do something. Right? Just do something. Show them. One of the first things I did for my husband, I got him a brand new F-250 truck and paid cash for it.
Oh, wow.
That felt so good. He had that car for 15 years, or that truck for 15 years. Okay? Now, you know what? I didn't have to do that. I wanted to do that.
That's right.
He was so supportive. Okay? So, anyway, what's your dream for 2016? An overview of how your business grows over a 6-month period. Next. Okay. There we go. Oh,
Bingo. Is that good?
not the same way I think as it did mine.
It's
All right.
gonna fail.
Oh.
January, it had 6 shows, February 8th, March 8th, April 8th, because remember I said 2 times a week, work with my family, work for my family? So I purposed to do 2 shows a week. Once that week was filled, go to the next, okay? Now, because my calendar was filled also, people knew if they canceled on me, it took a long time to get back on my calendar, so I had very few cancellations. But you need to plan for cancels, okay? It's part of our business.
Right.
We're dealing with people that are doing something out of their home, things happen, life happens. And I know you guys don't do this, but I personally send out invitations. My cancellations went down to 0. Because you know what? All of a sudden, nobody's grandma was sick anymore. They didn't send out their invitations on time. When you have people coming to the show, they hold the show. They hold it, okay? Just like when we have bookings on our calendar, we don't quit, do we?
That's true.
It's true. No one quits with bookings on their calendar. No one. All right? So let's try and get there. There's 46 shows in your first 6 months of the year. Next. And then you got 48 shows in the second half of the year, which comes out to be, let's do the math.
Oh.
94, yep, it's good.
Oh, okay.
94 shows, January through December, $550.
He went quicker than you were.
94 shows. Whoops,
Stop!
no.
Stop! Hold on.
Okay, next.
Is
All right,
this
right
it?
there, stop it.
Okay, hold on.
Okay,
Hold on. I figured it out.
94 shows, $550 average, $13,959 commission, and $51,700 annual sales. How close are you to the next trip in 2016? Now, next, if we
share the business with people. You're gonna have 846 guests, 3 recruit packets, it's 285 leads. 1 out of 10 will sign up. You'll have 28 recruits, 18 qualify. Now you've got 54,000 points plus your sales. It's 105,700 points.
Level 3.
Level 3, your name's going to be up on the board.
Yeehaw.
Right? Two shows a week and handing out 3 recruit packets. Because the other thing is when you host coach really, really well, and this happened to me. These numbers happen to me. So I'm not telling you anything that's pie in the sky. And they happen to many other people. All right. So with these kind of numbers, I just lost my thought. Host coaching. Thank you. It's ADD time. It's past 8 o'clock. Oh my gosh. Okay. So host coaching is the key to success. It's the backbone of our business. If you don't take the time to host coach, you might as well not do our business, okay? I absolutely believe that. Host coaching is where you make your paycheck. The show is where you pick it up. Because if you work with your host well enough, and we got all kinds of calls and all kinds of ideas on how to host coach on the website, so I'm not gonna go into that. But that is the most important thing I do when I'm gonna do a show. My party average is $1,400 a night. And it's because I average about 16 to 18 people at every show. All right. Now, at the beginning of my business, this is what I did. My first year, in 4 months, I recruited 11. My second year, I qualified 11. My second year, I qualified 20. My third year, I qualified 38. Okay. It was half recruiter my first 3 years. Now, did I know what I was doing? Did I have any training? There was no website. There was no cell phones. Seriously, guys. It was the Rock. We went there on the Fred Flintstone mobile. Okay.
No caller ID.
No caller ID. There was nothing. Okay. Some people said it was easier back then. I disagree.
Yeah, it's easier now.
I disagree. When you leave a message, I want you to leave a message expecting them to call back. When you say, "Oh, this is Nancy Jo from the Pampered Chef, and I was trying to get a hold of you," I'll try back. Do you want to talk to me? Absolutely not. Hi, this is Nancy Jo with the Pampered Chef. I've got some exciting things to share with you about the products you bought. Please call me back at done. And they don't know what about the products you bought, and then when they call back, I'll start out the conversation. Thank you so much, Debbie, for calling me back. Because you know what, I didn't get to spend a lot of time with you about telling you the features and the benefits of the products that you purchased, and I'd like to tell you some of the very special things about that manual food processor. Do you have 5 minutes? It's customer service.
Yeah.
Belinda Ellsworth says call and thank them 2 days after the show for coming and for their order. I really appreciate it. Without my hosts and guests, I'd have no business at all. Call them 2 weeks after the show was put in. Did you get your products and are they out of the box? And then call them 2 months later. How's everything going for you? We have some great specials. Can I interest you in a few more products? Now it sounds like a lot of phone calls, doesn't it? But guess what happens? You get your 3 to 5 phone calls in every day without even thinking twice. And you know, I love it when my dentist and my other doctors call me and remind me that my appointment is coming up, or if someone's giving me a thank you. No one does that anymore. It makes me proud out loud. Yeah, we're almost done. One more.
Wow.
Okay. Enjoy the sweet benefits of success with 2 cooking shows a week. I'm not asking you for 5 nights a week, everybody. I'm telling you, you can do 2 shows a week, and you can make full-time money. Now, I didn't send this to Patty, so it's really small. I'll pass it around. Here's my income chart for my first 4 years. I worked 2 shows a week each of these first 3 years, and then I worked 6 shows in my 4th year. Excuse me. My first year I earned $14,700. My second year I earned $26,500. My third year was $49,700, and my 4th year was $97,500. Working 2 nights a week and helping others work 1 to 2 nights a week. Remember this year I recruited 11, and then from here to here I recruited 20. From here to here I recruited 38. Took me 6 months to become a director, took me 28 months to get my first 2 directors. 28 months, nobody believed that they could recruit but me. Marie was my second director.
All right.
Chris Mannion was my first director. She just retired as a national. Darla Ullman was another one of my personal recruits. She's a national. Okay, so then, took me 28 months. 5 months later, I was a senior. 9 months later, I was an executive. So in 14 months, I went from 2 to 8 in my first gen, in my first line of directors. And then in another 14 months, I had 16. All right, so it took me 28 months to get to advanced, to get 2, and it took me 28 months to have 16.
Wow.
Momentum builds. Momentum builds. And it's amazing. What would it feel like to get a $7,000 check in 1 month?
Huh.
What would you do differently? What would you spend it on? Guys, what would you do? Let's hear from the men in the room. Buy a new car. Okay, what would you do? Save it? What would you do?
I'd pay my kids' tuition.
Paid your kids' tuition. How about you? Bills. Anybody else?
If I me a new Harley.
Oh, there you go, there you go. Well, that was in my 3rd year, in 1 October month. The next month was another $7,600. And what was really interesting to me, I made $14,700 my first year. In my 3rd year, I made that in 2 months. Okay, and then I made $26,000 in my 2nd year. I made that in 2 months, my 4th year. Do you see a pattern happening here? That month, $12,000 and $13,000 over 2 months. So $25,000 in 2 months. How would life be different for you? And this is back in 1990. You know how much? All these numbers would be doubled today because our party averages were 275 to 300, and today they're 550 to 650. Okay.
Wow.
So all these numbers would be double. I show you these because so many people have beat the crap out of these numbers, okay? I know lots of people who have made more money faster. In Becky Ishey's 4th year, she made $148,000, okay? She was an executive in 2 years. It took me 4. It took me 4. So that's why I feel good about sharing these numbers with you. And it just keeps growing. It just keeps growing. Now, why share the business? Why recruit? What's in it for you? It's only 1%, 2%, 3%. It's not much. We're not one of the companies that are paying 10 and 12 and 15%. Because you know what? Their products are so overly inflated financially that, you know, when you think about somebody making 50% selling jewelry, and their leaders each making 10% for 4 lines up, let's do the math. If you spend $100, and you got 50, and the 4 leaders above you got $10 each, that's $90. There is $10 left to make the product, run the home office, run all promotions and trips. That is a piece of junk jewelry. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Just saying.
I am just saying. Did I say that right there? I'm just saying. Okay. So we don't pay as much, but we have a product that is common to everyday living, and that our products sell more because everybody wants quality in their kitchen, okay? And people connect with our products because it's connecting with family, and it's not for me, it's for them, okay? And that's the difference psychologically with our company, and that's why we do so well. When we believe and when we help people in their home, they can't help but love our products. What do people say when you tell them you do Pamper Chef?
I love that.
I love my Pamper Chef product. Coming here on the plane today, the lady said, "What do you 3 ladies do?" And we said, "The Pamper Chef." I love the Pamper Chef, and you better darn well be sure I had my catalog out before I whipped it out.
That's because I gave her the end seat, that's why.
I said, "Of course I have a catalog for you." And she was sweet. She says, "I knew you 3 were special. Your smiles."
Oh my goodness.
Right? Did she not say that? She said, "I could just tell the whole countenance about you." And you know, some of you saw us. We're just in our little stretchy, workout pants and our little nothing, no big deal, right?
What?
Oh, we are a big deal.
But you know what? We have fun, and I think that people sense our joy. And it's not because of the money, you guys. It's because we help people change their lives every day. And that's the difference. Now, this is a little sales and override sheet that I have. My first 6 months, yeah, we're done with that, Pat. The first 6 months, 100% of my income came from me. The second 6 months of my business, 68% came from me, 32% came from running a team. My next 6 months, 57-43, 57% came from me, 43%. This is why recruit. This is why share your time. It's going to pay off, I promise, okay? And we're no different than any other business. The CEO makes more than the vice presidents, who makes more than the general managers, who makes more than the department heads, who make more than the people working and running the business, okay? We're the same way. They are paying us for taking the time out and doing something like this. Because let's face it, we're all very nice, but if we didn't get paid for doing this somehow, some way, we'd only be worrying about our personal businesses, okay? It is worth it for us to take time away from our business to help you train and know how to do this business, and that's why we do it, and because we love you. All right, so look at month 25 to 33. Look at how this chart is changing. 24% is coming from me, 76 from my team, from managing my team, and month 34, when I became an advanced director, 13% came from me, 87% came from managing my team. I want you to know this whole time I'm doing 2 shows a week. My efforts did not change. I was within $1,000 to $1,200 of sales every one of these years from the year before. What changed? My team changed, and my efforts that I could put into my team. So I'll pass these around, okay? So you can see these up close. We'll start here, just keep passing them around, okay? I know you guys have seen these, but sometimes you just need to see the real numbers, okay? Now today, my life is very different, all right? It's 29 years later, and I can't ever see myself doing anything different ever in my life because I love what I do, not only because it gives me a great income, but because I know that I'm making a difference in this world and in people's lives. I'm so thankful that Doris Christopher started this business. I'm so thankful for the friends I have. It's been an amazing ride, and it's going to continue, and that's the best part of it. Thank you. Yay! All right, are we still alive? Everybody stand up, stretch out. I need we have a giveaway. Let's have some